You know, kinda my whole thing is talking about bad operators now. I enjoy doing it, and I don't see enough of it in the Arknights space. Everyone tends to be nice and forgiving, even to wasters of oxygen like Eben Hotz. And you know, I am a hater. I wake up real early just to have more time to hate. But how does one decide when an operator is bad? How do you reach that conclusion? It's very simple, really. It's only one question. Are they gummy? If they aren't gummy, they're pretty dog shit.
I finally found what
So, to answer this question that me and exactly two other people have asked, I collected all the greatest minds of this fanbase, which include me, SUPAH, myself, I, and the Blue Train, to pin down 5 ways an operator can be bad in Arknights. These are having a bad niche, being too hard to use, clunky, inconvenient and or inconsistent, having a contradictory kit, just plain having bad stats, low numbers, and a secret 5th thing that I will mention at the end. Think of this as a surprise tool that will help us later. I will also add being outclassed by others, but this is only really applicable if you have the better unit in the first place, so it won't really be discussed here, just keep it in mind. Arknights, at its core, is a game about niches. Every operator has a niche. Yes, even pulverizing everything in range is technically a niche. It's just that it's massively useful and you can use it literally everywhere. In other words, Arknights is a game about roles. If you want to optimize your team, you want to optimize what roles you're going to bring for the stage at hand within the 12 squad slots. And as it turns out, sending every enemy in a 3x3 area into the sun and being immortal are very requested roles. So, if an operator has a bad niche, or has a role that is just useless or way too situational, that makes them bad. Usually, good operators are good because you can plop them anywhere and they will work, because they are really versatile. Think Sutra or Bagpipe. Then you have people like Tsukinogi, where her niche of invisibility removal and giving dodge/shelter is way too insignificant. You will never need this role compared to just a healer or Elysium, whenever he's done having passionate gay sex with thorns. Other examples include Doberman with buffing 3 stars, or Nightmare being a healer for Caster Knights, or Insider prioritizing people with ranged weapons, or Vigil. Actually, my boy Vigil straight up does not have a niche. He just deals damage and makes DP, which are not roles, but literally basic universal mechanics of the game. And say it with me now, he makes 2 DP. This point refers to a lot of things, like how easy an operator is to use effectively, both in the actual practical using them, how convenient they are, and in how much they leech off other operators. In another video we talked about parasite units, and this is what I mean. Units that aren't part of any given strategy, but a parasite on it. You know, like landlords. a unit that you need to accommodate for and play around, thus making them hard to use. This also counts operators that need others to work better. An operator that needs another one to combo and do well will always be worse than an operator that can just be good on their own. This is also about consistency, so essentially any operator with RNG gets instantly thrown in the trash can. And also about how convenient they are, which is why very high SP costs are bad. This is also why I would say people like Meyer and Magallan are pretty bad. Yes, they can do very amazing things. They can solo or duo basically every stage in the game. You just need to channel your inner anime protagonist and believe hard enough. But that comes with a very steep learning curve. And when you're done, it's still better to just use normal operators. They're hard to use because you have to think, and I know you don't like that. It's why you watch Arknights analysis videos, so the YouTubers can think for you. And when you do think, you don't even get as much reward as using normal operators. They aren't like Ling, where you can slap down a dragon in a lane that looks important and call it a day. But this also extends to people like Ebenholz. He's just clunky and finicky to use. Sure, one-tapping bosses lets you skip their annoying mechanics, but then you replace their annoying mechanics with the annoying little gay German boy mechanics. These are operators whose kits contradict themselves. An example is Eunectis. She gains SP while blocking, but literally everything in her kit goes against her blocking. She has a Morbillion attack, so she just turns anyone she blocks into soup, and she has block 1. Another example is Grania. She is a vanguard that makes DP when killing enemies, but her entire kit is defensive. She got Defense Up Gamma. Attack Up Gammas somehow worse, probably inbred brother. Or Nightmare Skill 2. She deals damage to enemies equal to the distance they travel, but then also applies a really heavy slow, so they travel less distance. Keep in mind, this is not the same as having a downside in the kit. It's when the kit actively sabotages itself, like Toddifons and Totter. They prioritize attacking heavy enemies, but gain no advantage from doing so. Instead, it can be detrimental. Imagine you want Totter to hit an invisible enemy, but there is also a heavy enemy in range. He'll hit the heavy enemy. Not much to say here, just the operator has low numbers. This includes people like Carnelian. Her DPS is very solid in a vacuum, but it's really way too low for the 26 weeks she has to charge up for it. Or Vigil, again. His stats are so low he can't really do anything significant ever. If I had to guess, his cock is small as hell too. Neither him, the wolves, or the whole 2DP he makes for you can help in any way. Or Catapult. Even within the 3 stars, her numbers suck. Yeah, stupid bitch, maybe you should have listened to Doberman's lessons. How about that? Quit horsing around. You may be wondering, SUPAH, how is it that you're so attractive and funny all the time? Thank you, it's all genetics. But beside that, you may be wondering what was that fifth mystery point from the start. Imagine someone that takes all the 4 points we discussed prior and unites them all into one big pot of disappointment and broken dreams. The f***ing avatar of dogshit operators, a master of all 4 flaws. That's how you get the top 3 worst operators in the game: Spuria, Quartz, and Frostleaf. The 5th way an operator can be bad is all the above. 1. Their niches are god-awful. Doctor Strange could look in every universe out there and he wouldn't find one stage where they are genuinely useful. 2. They're also a nightmare to use. You have to plan around Spuria's weird masochism fetish self-stun skill too, or Quartz's body being made out of twigs and being held together by duct tape and wishful thinking, or Frostleaf's being Frostleaf. 3. Their design is contradictory. Spuria's buff nullifies itself with the self-stun. Quartz's skill 2 makes her take more damage, and Frostleaf becomes worse when you E2 because of her talent f***ing over her skill 1. And finally, 4. They're just underwhelming. Their stats suck, not much to say here. Frostleaf does less DPS than Midnight. They just got the short end of the stick in every category imaginable. And that is how an Arknights operator can be considered bad. That's all I had to say. Max out your gummy. Bye. Hey there, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, which you should have because I only make bangers. Yes, even the Alters video. I still stand by everything I said in that one. Anyhow, I also want to thank our beautiful channel members shown on screen right now, and a special super thank you to Techie, Noobpo, Come to Brazil, Behaigna, Chromechan but JJF, and Yuval. It's in part thanks to you people if the videos keep coming out. If I had you in front of me, I would not hesitate to passionately kiss you on the lips, unless you're a minor.